Hi everyone, my name's Therea and today I'm just doing a short video on the different layers that make up the heart wall. So this kind of information is only useful for people who are doing level 7 or HNC first year university type level. So people doing National 5 biology or intermediate 2 levels won't need to know about the layers of the heart wall. That's kind of more further along in your course. So I'm going to share my screen and I will label an unlabeled diagram as we go so that you can see what I'm talking about when I introduce each of the layers of the heart. So here we have the walls that make up the heart. So I'm going to think about this as the outside layer, this side here, and this is the inner layer. Hopefully you can see my cursor moving as I'm moving around the screen here. So this inner layer here, I'll maybe just do an arrow to make sure you can see it. This inner layer here is the part that touches all the blood cells. So imagine all the blood. This is little red blood cells here. So this is the inner layer of the heart. And then over here is the outer layer. But they have specific names and specific functions. So let me just take that away. So the first layer I want to talk about is the outer layer of the heart. So this outer layer here is referred to as the pericardium. So write that up here, pericardium. So peri basically means perimeter and cardium is referring to the heart. So peri literally means around the heart. So it's the outer layer and it's made up of this fibrous tissue to sort of help stop overexpansion of the heart. So when the heart muscle is contracting constantly, it helps prevent overexpansion of the heart. So it's a tough fibrous layer of the heart. So this is this 1, 2, 3, all of this makes up the pericardium, but I'm just going to label the different parts separately. So this is the fibrous layer, the outermost layer is the fibrous layer of the pericardium. Fibrous layer here. So this is sometimes it gets referred to as the pericardial sac because it's like a sac containing the heart. The next layer we have is the parietal layer. Parietal layer of the heart. This one here. And this layer is still part of the pericardium. It's responsible for producing a sort of lubricating fluid. So there is a cavity here. So this layer here is called the pericardial cavity. So you can see that there is a space here. And inside this pericardial cavity is this lubricating serous fluid produced by the parietal layer, which helps reduce friction within the heart as the heart contracts. So that's really important. The next layer we have is the epicardium. This layer down here, pointing here. This layer, this part here, just to be clear, because I didn't draw that arrow very well. So this bit is the epicardium. And it's attached to this big, thick, muscular layer. This bit here. This is obviously the thickest part of the heart. You can see how wide it is. This is the myocardium. Myo, remember from the last video, means muscle. Myocardium. And in the last video, I was talking about how the left-hand side of the heart, the ventricle, has a thicker muscular layer. This myocardium is made up of contractile cardiac muscle tissue, which is what helps the heart to contract during each beat. So we've got the myocardium. That's what this one's meant to label here, the myocardium. And then the innermost layer, the layer that touches the blood, comes in contact with the blood cells, is called the endocardium. Endocardium. So endo means inner or within, and it's literally the inside layer. It's a really, really thin layer. I don't know if you can see how thin it is. Maybe I can highlight that. This is how thin it is. It's just made up of simple squamous epithelial cells. So it's the thinnest layer of all the layers that make up the heart wall. So yeah, there's various layers that make up the heart. The pericardium, remember, collectively is the fibrous layer and the parietal layer, which then attaches with connective tissue to the epicardium. There's a cavity in between filled with serous fluid to help sort of lubricate the heart and stop friction and things during the heartbeats. And the muscle layer is the thickest layer, made up of that contractile muscle tissue, basically to help with heart contractions. The endocardium being the thinnest layer, made up of squamous epithelial. So I hope that was helpful. Any questions, just post in the comments on the YouTube, or you can email me. You'll find my email address in the About section on the YouTube as well. So I hope that was helpful.